Charlotte, N.C., the Panthers had the worst kind of Thursday night football deja vu in their frustrating 2,823 loss to Eagles to open Week 6, the sight of Luke Kuechly leaving a game with a concussion. Unlike in their midweek home matchup with the Saints in Week 11 last season, a Pyrrhic 2,320 victory in which Kuechly ended up being lost for the final 6 games with a head injury that had him being carted off the field in tears, they have a lot of meaningful games left in 2017. Carolina is still 42 after falling to Philadelphia, which is now 51. It's still a strong playoff contender, not looking like anything close to the Super Bowl hungover bunch that went 610 and finished last in the NFC South last season. Game Center complete stats from Eagles. Panthers forget how the Eagles offense got the tying touchdown and took the lead not long after Kuechly was hurt in the red zone right before halftime. Forget how their power running game with LeGarrette Blount suddenly sprung to life, and how Carson Wentz's confidence in the passing game picked up. Forget how, on a night where Cam Newton and the Panthers offense struggled for stretches, a Kuechly-less defense may have cost them a shot at winning. Forget how they might function without him going forward and whether David Mayo can be a halfway adequate replacement at middle linebacker. This is about how a beloved team leader is staring at an uncertain football future instead of peering into an opponent's backfield. Having already missed 9 games over the past 2 seasons, a third concussion in as many years puts Kuechly's career in serious jeopardy. Panthers fans, media and players in Bank of America Stadium all knew that the news of Kuechly being evaluated for a concussion and then quickly being put into the protocol was more likely to have long-term repercussions than be another temporary setback. After the game, Kuechly's teammates weren't outwardly somber in the locker room. This wasn't same scare as the New Orleans game when there were many tense moments of him being down on the ground. Most didn't see exactly what happened this time, when they were backed up near their goal line. The realization for many came after Kuechly jogged off the field. Prayers up, next man up was the theme of every reaction. That next man, Mayo, played as well as he could, but he had Kuechly on his mind as much as the opportunity to replace him. He's so well loved, so respected around here. No one here wants to see that, Mayo said. The rest of the Panthers didn't need to see to believe that this development can be worrisome for Kuechly, despite it feeling less devastating. Morrison's live blog of Eagles Panthers. Kuechly was adamant that he didn't want to change the way he plays the game he loves so much. He was back this season going hard in pursuit on every play, showing the passion that has made him the sentimental favorite in Carolina over Newton's dabbing Superman. Before the Panthers took on the Eagles, much was made about the Charlotte Observer story detailing how Kuechly had turned to an apparatus called a woodpecker collar that was designed to help prevent concussions. Unfortunately, that was no match for Kuechly, giving his typical relentless effort in an intense short-week game against an extremely tough and equally physical opponent. Kuechly showed every bit of his energy in dominating the game early with 4 tackles. He was headed to a monster performance. It doesn't seem fair for this to happen to a player who plays football the right way. But then, ask J.J. Watt about fairness. His superhero humanitarian efforts couldn't make him any more invincible on the field this season. Watt is at a crossroads himself. A bad back injury suffered last year had him questioning his football mortality. Now he's dealing with a major leg injury. He's about to miss 24 games in his prime years, when he was supposed to further build his case as one of the NFL's greatest all-time defenders. More surprising early NFL retirements. Ever since Kuechly was drafted early in the first round a year after Watt in 2012, the two have been vying for NFL Defensive Player of the Year honors, with Kuechly winning the one that Watt didn't from 201,215. Now there's another connection between Kuechly and Watt's former Wisconsin teammate Chris Borland. As a 49ers rookie in 2014, Borland looked like he would succeed Patrick Willis in San Francisco as a premier inside linebacker and was often mentioned in the same breath as Kuechly. Borland then famously walked away from the game after only one NFL season, before the accolades, before the millions. Kuechly, like Watt, has been well compensated, and well honored. Given how repeated concussions have felled many great players in a most brutal sport, Kuechly has given, and received, enough to ease the difficulty of walking away. The on-field fate of the Panthers has to be put aside now. As much as that hurts for Kuechly, the difficult decision may end up being the only decision.